This all began from a phone call, actually, from a buddy of mine who called me up one day and just said, "Hey, do you want a school bus?" And I was like, "Well, why would I want a school bus?" And he goes, "I don't know. Well, let's make sled haulers out of them, and I can get them for next to nothing. The local school district's getting rid of them, and you know, it might be a fun thing." And I was like, "Man, you know, how much?" And $500 donation or something. So that's kind of how it all started. I think we were able to get our hands on 5 of them. The inception was really his idea, and he did one as well. So that's how it all started.
Well, he said we have an opportunity to get a school bus so that we can turn it into an RV, and I was super excited. I've always wanted to do that, kind of live in it and use it, and had all these ideas since I was little, so I was really excited.
It started out as like a schoolie conversion, and we were looking at all the schoolie sites and forums and like, let's do a school bus camper RV, and we can certainly do that. And so it started out like that, and as we got into it deeper, we're like, well, the windows are super old and inefficient, let's take those out. And it started just snowballing, and so then the frame, and then we needed extra length for the garage, so then we added an axle, and it really just got out of hand, which is cool. That's what I do.
We had no idea what we were doing. It was a fly by the seat of our pants kind of thing the entire way. He has a lot of experience in building metal things, wood things, pretty much anything. So we kind of used his experience and kind of winged it the entire time.
We had a little bit of a conflicting vision on what it was, not initially, but as we got into the project, she was thinking like a schoolie, raise the roof. I was going, man, that's a lot of work, you know, for what we'll get out of it. So if we're gonna do that, let's take it up a notch.
I think it's awesome. It's massive, very impressive. We get a lot of looks when we drive down the road, but it turned out great. Better than I thought through the whole process. Everything kind of blew my mind each step of the way. It's huge. It's huge compared to what I thought it was gonna be. We've been keeping it secret, not showing a lot of people besides my family and his family, but we're excited to show everybody.
It started out as a 1990 Bluebird 5.9 Cummins school bus. I think it was a 21 or 22 window school bus. I mean, your typical yellow and black bus. What it became was obviously a whole nother deal, but the guts of the original bus were a 5.9 6BT Cummins. It had like 23,000 miles on it. It had been driven in a local school district just around town, which is a pretty small town. So I knew starting out we had a good base. We had a good frame, we had a good engine, and that was really the premise on building, you know, something this extensive. Was it had a good core. So we got into the design phase of it, and we're going, okay, we need a 16-foot garage to make this worth it. So how do we accomplish that? We can't essentially move the axle on the existing chassis back and make it real worth it. So we went to a local salvage yard, a truck salvage yard, got a tandem bogie rear end off a totaled Freightliner, and we essentially took out the existing axle, welded this in, and were then able to extend our garage space, the 10 feet that we needed to get our 16-foot garage while still maintaining a good sized living quarters. We have this big frame, this extended chassis, and you know, is it going to work right? So we get on the road, and it's definitely underpowered initially. It was slow, and the gearing was a little weird. So it was overheating. The EGTs, the exhaust gas temperatures, were exceeding where we wanted to see them. The engine was getting a little hot, and this particular bus did not come with an intercooler. So, you know, process of elimination, all right, what do we do here to remedy this? And it started with, let's intercool it. It had to be a little bit Mad Max style. It had to fit. We didn't want to change the front end. We wanted to keep the school bus look. So that's what that is. And then from there, we got our EGTs down. We were still a little underpowered. So we were like, well, let's water methanol inject it. You know, let's everything else has already been raised up. Let's pump this engine up. And so we put water methanol injection on it. We ended up putting a bigger turbo in it as well, and messed with the pump a lot and got everything kind of beefed up. Now it rips. It's loud. It's mean. So we were able to successfully accomplish it being a good power plant for the bus.
We were starting from pretty much scratch, the frame off, everything, welding on new axles, and so it turned into a little bigger project. But well, this is basically the factory panel that they originally had all their lights and all their extra stuff for the school bus wired from. And there's a lot of stuff we had to keep and a lot of stuff that we ended up taking out. I mean, there's not any stoplights like the old school bus had, so then we had to wire in our own circuits and relays and all, but it all worked out pretty good.
I am very relieved that it's done. It was a long process, a lot of long days, 14 hours, and it's nice that we got to work on it by the house so we could take breaks and get out here early and get in late, and not a lot of travel time, but it was a lot of work. We're pretty excited that it's finally done. We have a little bit of finishing touches to do to make it perfect, but it's ready to hit the road. So we're very, very excited. I'm super proud of this. It's not at all what I thought it was gonna be. It's better, it's way better, super cool. I'm really excited to see what people think, but I love it regardless.
It's time to give you a tour. Let's check it out. We got the dual 5-inch stacks, straight piped, 2 80-gallon diesel tanks. So together we got 160 gallons. I'm gonna stay on the road for a while. In here we got a big propane tank. Put a fairly decent one in here. I didn't want to have to be filling up all the time and stopping, so that should keep us going for a while. Over here, we got our shore power cord reel. We can plug in wherever we go if they have constant power. And right here we got all the nasty biz, black and gray water. So underneath the floor is where we ended up running all the tanks and everything. There's a subfloor in here. So right there, we got our black tank, our gray tank, and that's the fill for the freshwater tank. Here's the tandem dually bogie that we ended up welding into the existing frame. And it did come with air ride, so we're riding plush. Right here, we got an Onan QG4 4000. Nice little Jenny to keep us going while we're on the road. We had to maintain some of the heart of the schoolie, so we kept the stop sign, and now we flip this out when we're riding. Let everybody know you gotta stop and watch out for the brappers. Rounding the corner, we got 4 LED backup lights that help a ton at night when you're backing this thing up. It's pretty big, so that definitely is key. We also welded in a trailer hitch receiver so we can keep everybody together. So we've got more underbody storage here. That was another thing. I feel like you can never have too much storage in an RV, and most of them had all that, so I really wanted to incorporate that into the build. Side door into the garage. And here we have our 12-volt battery bank, and I really got to thank the guys at Battery Systems in Reno. Went to them, I had no clue what we were dealing with when it came to batteries, and these guys really had all the knowledge and got us set up with these 6-volt batteries that we were able to link together and create our 12-volt system. So these things are awesome, and I really want to thank those guys a bunch for that. Here we have the solar charger and the inverter, and that all slides out as well, but it's basically the brains of the whole motorhome right there. Is, you know, we have 600 watts of solar, so if we're out somewhere that doesn't have power, and if, say, we didn't want to run the generator, we do have off-grid capability, so that's pretty cool. So here's just another empty storage box, ready for anything we want to take. And then this is pretty cool. Check this out. This is where the Snow Performance Boost Juice comes in, and this is our water methanol injection. So we got plenty of water methanol to put in the tank. We got a full tank, and Snow Performance definitely keeping us running on the road. Now it's time to go check out the inside. Come on in. So start up at the front. We decided to make a whole new dash. The bus being 30 years old, plastic dash, it's cracked, it's kind of nasty. So keeping with the theme of the frame and everything else, we bent one up out of aluminum and replaced all the gauges. So we got all new autometer gauges. So yeah, there's the dash. Up here, we've got a whole loft. So we wanted to be able to sleep as many as we could in here. So in addition to the all aluminum dash that we did, the guys at D&D Audio really came in clutch with the stereo system. We've got 6.5 speakers, a 12-inch sub up in the loft, 2 6.5s outside, and 6x9s in the garage. 3 amps, 2 capacitors, nice head unit. Thing sounds amazing. When we started ordering stuff, I had no idea like sizes. I mean, we were just like whirlwind ordering everything online. This showed up and I'm going, man, what do we do with this chair? It's huge. You know, the passenger seat needs to be comfortable. So what we decided to do was put it on some heavy duty tray rollers, and now it can slide up against the wall, but also it'll float out here in the middle of the room. So when you have company sitting on the couch and whatnot, it can be kind of facing the living room. So moving on to the kitchen, we've got a bar set up for one, stove, refrigerator. I wanted a big sink so we could do, you know, throw everything in the sink. I hate tiny sinks, and tiny RV sinks didn't make sense to me. So got that, microwave, and some cupboards. And obviously the pop out living room here swings out. It's a 3-foot pop out, so 3 feet doesn't sound like much, but when it comes to a living room, it makes a lot of space. So for the bathroom, that was kind of an added challenge. How do you get a toilet, a shower, a sink, everything in one, essentially 4x4 room? We had decided to do the old boat style, do the toilet inside the shower, so you can do your morning business and shower at the same time. Also have a sink there, and yeah, it turned out pretty nice. Moving on back, we're now in the master bedroom, and it's not huge, but definitely works for what we're doing. Full underbed storage under here. We got the cabinets above and on the side of one, and this is pretty cool. Decided to do a flip down TV. There really wasn't a good place to put a TV, so why not stick it on the roof? So now to the fun part, really the whole premise of this build. Welcome to the garage. We've got storage, got hooks here for all the 2B monosuits. I like to keep a good collection of those. Goggle and helmet racks, so you can store your goggles. These are pretty cool. Did some fold down benches, so you get ready. Pretty nice. Another thing we wanted to do was a drying rack. So we have a heater back here. We want to keep the garage warm. We did a heater up in the top, and then we actually piped it over into just a homemade ABS, I guess you call it a manifold of sorts, for drying boots and helmets and gloves and all the things. So that's pretty cool. Also, when you're out on the road, if you park somewhere and you're staying, you need fuel. So we decided between the wheel wells back here, we were gonna do a 100-gallon fuel cell. So right in between, right on top, actually I'm standing right on top of it, is a 100-gallon full baffles and everything aluminum fuel cell. So that's pretty cool. We got the fuel fill right there. We've got a fold-up workbench in case you need to fix anything, which you always have to fix things, I know I do. So another cool thing we did back here was installed 2 vent fans up high for get rid of the 2-stroke smell, 2-stroke smoke. Not that I don't love it, but you know, we didn't want it to gas out the motorhome or be locked in here. So also might keep the heat down in the summer. Wanted to put in some E-Track, and the reason being we didn't want to do just sleds in here. We wanted to be able to take the RZR and go camping in the summer. So got E-Track on the side. Starting at the bottom of the ramp with the Caliber products, we've got the Edge glides to kind of give us a nice run up the ramp. The Low Pro grip glides in the center, which will handle obviously the inside ski, the edge guards, and the track grabber. All around awesome setup. This is about as clean as it gets, as durable as it gets, and highly functional. It's obviously the best in the industry. So super stoked that we could work with those guys and get this looking the way it does, which is perfect. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.